Yeah, after watching the 1000th episode of SmackDown, absolutely incredible. And it was nice to see a lot of the, you know, other wrestlers, my man Batista coming back, making his very true statement about the game that had no rebuttal. He had a hug for him, though. And of course, you see the dead man who's been on both brands for the 1000 episodes. Um, and the biggest thing though of everything that I had seen, okay, with this that really bothers me is the Rusev match. Now I don't like Rusev, and I don't remember his wife's name. But what I do know is that if she, scripted or not, had kicked me in my balls, I would have, scripted or not, punched her in her face. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I continue to address because it's a problem. When you as an audience thinks that something like that is funny, you're like really disturbed. And I think the point would be quickly obtained if he had turned around and kicked her in her vagina. Now you would have gotten the, whoa, oh shoot, but there would have been a bunch of butt hurt individuals that would have been like, he should have never done that. When you have that mentality, when all you see is what you want, that's where I really come up with the word ignorant. When you fast forward past whatever actions you have brought on to the situation, to what has happened to you, you're a scumbag. When you can't see the forest through the trees and see that there's a problem that really needs to be addressed, and believe me, I am not going to fold my tent anytime soon stopping the mission of addressing this. Believe you me, as an individual, as a man, and a black man at that, okay? As an individual, it is my humane right to be treated equally. As a man, the same thing. My gender does not defy my treatment. And as a black man, we already know what history has shown. I am honestly disgusted, disturbed about a lot of so-called men that seem to have no guts with anything. It's like you can braveheart all day when you go out to the club and you're drinking and you get your beer muscle or whatever you're drinking muscles on. And I've said this before, and you can, try to be commando out there in the streets with a dude, but you turn complete bitch when dealing with your woman. And I, for the life of me, or any other life that may have existed of me, can't see how and why that is. Let me tell you something. A relationship, just in case people continue to purposely forget, is not about just pleasing your woman. And see, the funny thing is, when I say what I'm about to say, it is also about pleasing your man. The same individuals that have verbally stated that all men think about is sex are the same individuals that always come to that conclusion when it comes to satisfying your man. You know how I like to be satisfied? With a woman that has a job, a career is not sitting on her ass flapping her mouth about what she does like it's a historical moment. A woman that can be humble and bring something besides her body to the table. A woman that is graceful, that is absolutely, graceful about what she does, confident in herself, but not arrogant, egotistical, cocky, or an absolute jackass. You guys know what a man wants, but you don't want to do that because that's hard work. That's too much work. Yet you have the absolute nerve to expect it. Now, as a person with common sense and as a man, I will never let stuff like that ride. Things that I have seen personally, things that I see on the media. I don't give a good damn. Dudes want to love their woman. Fine, that's cool. But just realize that for all the time you're kissing her ass with compliments and everything else, most times that's not being reciprocated. And if you don't find that to have, be a problem, you're an idiot. Because what you're saying is that you don't matter in that relationship. Therefore, she ain't gonna make you matter. That's a problem. And for guy friends of mine who are fathers and have sons, you really need to pull your head out of the ass. You want to sit there and be in love and all sort of stuff. I know all about that. I've been doing this for a long time. For a long time. I know all about that. However, I also know that I am not going to kiss her behind to a degree where I start to diminish who I am as an important individual in that relationship. I am so tired of you men and even, and I'm going to say men first, not having the balls, not that you need to stand up for what is automatically right. And then looking at me like, what is he going off on a rant for? Because it's a problem, moron. That's why. And as a father who has a son, I'll be damned if I keep my mouth closed. I play bitch to no one. No one. And getting a piece of tail ain't worth compromising respect for myself, my morals, values, and things like that. A piece of tail ain't worth that, bottom line. And I'm a father of 4. But for some of you dudes so desperate to get tail, you'll sacrifice everything about you and just realize that it's not just diminishing you and who you are as a man, but it's diminishing us as men because of your relaxed attitude. You fight for things that, physically, but you don't fight for what's right. That makes no sense. And to the ladies out there who may look at me like I'm speaking a foreign language, you know good and damn well what language I'm speaking. It's called English. The same respect that you guys expect to get in a relationship, the same way you expect to be wowed in the relationship is the same way you better be wowing and doing all of the above. Because again, as a father with a son, I'll be damned if any of you think your daughters are going to have my son snapping to her beat. Because I promise you, the beat that I'll come with will be more vicious than Busta Rhymes will ever put together. I mean what I say. And I know what I say because most times I'm there when I say it. This world is so crooked, selfish, self-centered, and egotistically blind to what is going on. But I believe it is purposely being done. Because any individual that can complain about something they don't like being done to them is well aware that they shouldn't be doing it. Any individual. That's why I believe, honestly, women and men are not compatible. Because for the people that I see, and I'm keeping it 1,000, I see more dudes bending over backwards in their relationships to be Prince Charming because they stupidly feel, because of the ignorant idiots in society, they feel that if I complain to her about wrongdoings, if I say anything and stand up for myself as a human being, I'm no longer a gentleman because I upset her. I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. Any woman that has a problem with what I'm saying, first of all, I don't care. Okay? Second of all, do something about it. Third of all, you're an ignorant individual and the ones that I'm speaking of. Because if you're getting upset about what I'm saying and it's about being equality and absolute fair treatment, if you're upset because as a man, I am demanding for the men who sit there silently, okay, that we receive the same thing. If you got a problem with that, you're an absolute scumbag. And you're the ones that I'm speaking of. How dare you have a problem with it? We have just as much rights in the relationship to be treated and catered to and everything else that you believe you're entitled to. And any one of you that have a problem with that, number 4, shouldn't be in any relationship whatsoever. Whatsoever. But if you ever need to know how yous are, since yous tried denying it or living in a world where Alice and the rabbit in the white hole or whatever, if you ever need that, just be a lesbian for a week. It won't take that long, but just do it. See, sometimes you got to ground people, forcefully or not. You got to ground them to bring them logically back to planet Earth. I don't like to be blunt like this, but when you try to be less blunt and hope that people will get the message and they don't, then it's time to turn it up a little bit. And I don't play when it comes to sexism, the double standards, no more than I would accept racism. I don't accept that. And any person that has a problem with it, you are among the weak-minded individuals that are not as strong as you perpetrate to be. I shouldn't have to seem like I'm one of the few that know what to expect in life because of what I give. Anytime I ever have to go big evil on this subject, I bring it to you as a father of 4 with 1 son. And I bring it to you rough, rugged, and raw, live, and in absolute living color. I'm not playing about this matter. It would be nice for, as humorous as I am, for those of you who know me personally, you know I'm an ass clown on every visible occasion. This is something I don't play with. It's not a joke. And even if you try playing with it like most of my male friends do, you have these women that actually believe the shit is real. So then you got people like me that then have to step in and pop their egos, let all that air back out. I'm not suggesting that no one is special, that when your parents raised you to seek out the very best, that's not a good thing. What I have a problem with is when your parent never taught you how to respect the opposite gender and make sure that your shit financially, mentally, and everything else is just as intact for him, because that him right there has a father has a mother, okay? Just like you do. So for those mothers, because remember, y'all preach about how many single ones of you that are out there. For those of you who are doing the do, okay, you're doing it because you chose to be an adult. Stop thinking that you deserve any more brownie points than if a man were to say stuff like that. Okay? Congratulations. You breastfed your child because as I don't know, a day old baby, it couldn't crawl off of your stomach, crawl into the kitchen and make itself a box of cereal. Wow. She gave milk to her child. You know, the obvious things I just want to verbalize are pathetic, are an absolute pathetic thing. Because here's an obvious thing. Fathers back in the day who were working 10 to 12 to 16 hours and were getting like 50 cents or less were doing it for their families. Oh, but nobody's talking about that, right? Oh, actually, I shouldn't say nobody because I just said it. I just said it. Okay? Without one parent, without the other, there's no life. I don't care what goes on during, because even when the woman is physically dealing with what she's dealing with, the man is mentally dealing with her. I'm saying the things to you ladies that are so full of yourselves that you don't see this. I'm saying the things that your man is for whatever reason too afraid to say because he feels that it will cause an argument. Well, if it causes an argument, you're not the one for him. When you can't be intelligent enough to see these issues that are crystal clear, you're not very intelligent at all. And you don't belong with anyone. You belong by yourself. Be by yourself and you can praise yourself all day. So in the time that I have posted this video, I hope from this video, my Facebook friends, of course, for those of you who will view this, will see what I'm talking about, and it will be of no surprise to you. But the other friends of mine that really don't know years about me, you're going to find out that I'm a very down-to-earth dude. Just don't rattle my cage with double standard bullcrap. Don't try to rattle the cage because I'm versatile, verbally and however else, to get the point across until the message is received. One person or a group of people's rights did not mean the diminishing of one other or a group of others. And I know yous understand what I say. I know yous know that. When are these guys going to stand up and acknowledge it? Nothing combative about it. Because if there was anything combative about it, a woman or your woman or women you know have said and complained about the same things. Is that combative? No, it's not. Pull your head out of her ass, breathe, wash your face, and then realize as a male, you got the right to command, demand, or expect the same things that she does. Now, on another quick note, we're going to talk about thoughtlessness. And this was while I was at work. My part-time gig that I truly enjoy doing. I picked up this lovely woman, wonderful conversation from the beginning to the end. But along the way, with her little doggy, and I'm talking little lap sitter, doing the doggy thing, I said to myself, what I'm smelling cannot possibly be that dog's breath. It's not. It's not. But then inside I said also, but I hope it is. even though I know it's not. I hope I'm so wrong. Well, while I had a van, okay, that was capable of cargoing the woman's, all of her, or the two big bags of things she had and the little dog, she pretty much could have been in the back with her dog on her lap, okay? But instead chose to sit up front with me. Now, before I really get into this, I just say that people used to laugh at me at this job because they would see me before I would even get in the taxi cab. Literally, get in. Just open the door and start spraying. And I don't mean spraying like you spray around the house. I'm talking like literally spraying the door handles down, the steering wheel, the light switches, the radio switches, the cup holders, the CD mic mostly. Okay, the seats that we sit on, the seats that my guests will sit on, the handles that they'll grab. I'm talking, I paint this van. You hear me? Before I even get in it and roll. I am a germaphobe, and I can't stand people who are so nasty and thoughtless at that. This world has become so disgusting with people who don't even see what you do in the course of a day with your hands, but will be one of the first kinds of people to want to ask someone, hey, you hungry? You want me to make something to eat? Be the first ones to ask that question. Or try to hand you something. Hand you something. I've had people in my past do that. I don't care. Like I said, if it was Tylenol. Okay, the Tylenol's going in my mouth. So why are you with the bottle in your hand pouring the Tylenol in your hand when my hands are absolutely available? And the medicine's going to be going down my throat hole, not yours. So other than my wife or my kids, like, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because we all, my wife and kids, we have the same germs. Okay? So I have a problem with disgusting, thoughtless people who think rinsing your hands under lukewarm water does it. No, bitch. Grab the damn Dawn dish detergent that's right in front of you, jackass, and squeeze as much of that shit in your hand with hot freaking water. That's how you're supposed to do it. Back to this woman, though. Sitting up front with me, chilling. I'm smelling a villain. Okay? Get to her house in the country. I get out of the van and I come around like I do with all of my guests and I go to get her belongings. There was a little anthill in the form of turds almost near my bag of stuff. Now, I'm smart enough to have a piece of folded box which divides my stuff in the front from the people in the back. Otherwise, it would have been Turdville near my things, and I would have went Ballisticville on this woman's candy ass. Okay? Now, it gets better. I grabbed the bags, and I said, uh-oh, because I wanted her to know, because I wasn't touching nothing. And she said, what happened? And I said, I think whatever the dog's name was nervous maybe with the ride. I don't know. Without missing a beat. Without missing a beat. This woman said, oh my goodness. Reached in the van, grabbed twice grabbed one thing of turds, whoop, right in the woods, grabbed a handful of another thing of turds, right in the woods, without missing a beat. And then told me it's okay, because they're all hard. Listen, okay? I've had dogs, got dogs, whatever, okay? I ain't picking up their turds, okay? Barehanded. Not even asked me for a notepad, piece of paper. Barehanded. Now, it gets phenomenally better because I had to bring the bags to the porch, right? Okay, now I got my winter jacket on. And She decides that she's like, okay, puts her glasses on. Let me see what you look like. Now, I don't know what that had to do with anything, but she wanted to see what I looked like. Okay. We talked probably about another 15 minutes. And in that time, she tried to hug me, which I became very faint about, and then tried to reassure me that she had no poopy fingers. Okay? You're that disgusting that you wouldn't even like one arm try to hug me? Like, I just had to refuse it. And I had to make sure that the gate that was between us kept her at bay. Because I wouldn't have wanted to have to go big evil on her and be like, are you kidding me? The whole night I was cringing at the thought of the incident and the fact that, did she miss a turd? Is there a turd rolling around somewhere here? Thoughtlessly tried to hug me. Really? Disgusting. Like, I literally have to break down what is what in this world today. Like, nobody really sees this. Wonderful guest that I had. Wonderful. But it doesn't smooth over the poop thing. And I just believe that along with thoughtlessness, when it comes to a man's feelings, acknowledging the accomplishments and things that men have been doing since the beginning of motherfucking time, I just think the thoughtlessness and the disgustingness just rolls off of y'all like water on a duck. Quack. There you go, Bubbles. Like water on a duck. And I'm going to tell you, as a man, it is disgusting. And either get your common sense back that you lost or left at home, or feel how I'll address that. Man up, guys. It's not against the law. It doesn't make you less of a gentleman or anything else. As a matter of fact, when you have a pair of balls that you don't have to visibly display, it actually makes you more of a gentleman, because you let every type of woman know that I don't tolerate no shit and I don't bring none. Start seeing the forest through the trees, or continue to be a victim of being an idiot, which would be called idiocy. If you're not going to stand up for the sake of yourself, then if you're a dad and you have a son, why would you not stand up for the sake of him?